What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Lit or Skip in a brand new year. You already know what's going down. We're taking songs that were released this week, and we're going to talk about them, and we're going to tell you whether they're lit or whether they're a skip. Now, today we got some music coming up. We got to talk about what's going on with Justin Bieber and Yummy. We also got new Meg Thee Stallion and Normani for the Birds of Prey soundtrack, which I can already tell you is about to be some bullshit. Haven't heard it yet, but I can tell you it's about to be some bullshit. We'll go over why. We've got new Drake and Future and what that means. We got new Drake, War, and we've also got a subscriber submission, so we got some things to talk about. I'm really excited. But first, all I want to say is I know it's a new year, and I know a lot of people are emboldened with this brand new surge of energy to be able to change, but you can get off your ass and change at any point in time if you feel like shit's going south. You can always make a change. Doesn't have to be January 1st for you to stop being an asshole. Doesn't have to be January 1st for you to decide to text your grandmother or call her. Or y'all grandmother's probably 36, so you probably text her. All I'm saying is, I know a new year feels like this brand new surge of, you know, positivity, but you can conjure that up at any given point in time. So just stop being fucking lazy and change your life. So no one's gonna change it for you. Anyway, you ready to get into this episode of Lit or Skip? Let's go. So how we're gonna do this one is a little bit different, because I'm tired of getting flagged for copyright. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave real quick, I'm gonna listen to the song, and then I'm gonna come back, and then I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it. But we're gonna start off with Yummy by Justin Bieber, which I've heard, and I've heard enough of, to tell you the truth. It sounds great. Don't get me wrong, it sounds great. It sounds like a nice song. It sounds like Hotline Bling. If I'm being real, it actually is Hotline Bling, which is Justin, then again, blatantly coming in and just stealing from niggas. Now, I don't have a problem when white men come in and steal from niggas as long as the music is good. Because I love Justin Timberlake's, all of his thievery, all of his theft and pandering. Let me tell you something, Cornrow Justin, that's my nigga, so I'm not mad. But the thing is, he could have just put out Yummy and shut up. We would have known it was Hotline Bling, we would have shut our mouths. But now because he's trying to act like he's Justin Bieber the abolitionist, and suddenly he just cares about black people and he's the community liaison for race relations. Justin, you're not. You're a white dude, and we know you're a white dude. If you would just shut up and be a white dude, it'd be fine. But you're leaning too much into the controversy, which is making us laugh more on social media. That shit was funny. The chainsaw joke, the run nigga nigga nigga, that was funny. He had funny jokes. They were bad, they were racist, sure, but he was just a bad little kid, and that's how we were raised, telling terrible, horrible, South Park-ass jokes. So that's just tainting the flavor of Yummy for me and for a lot of other people. A record that at the end of the day, it's just catchy. In the ingenuity scale, I'm gonna give it a skip. Oh, you almost motherfucking got me. The marketing for this was horrible. The sketch of the two Japanese girls acting out caricatures of black women to promote this, Justin, you're gonna have to stop that shit. At some point, people are not gonna accept it, and I think he's getting to a point where he's realizing that that old style of marketing is not gonna work. And honestly, you can ask Katy Perry how much we care about pop stars sinking and swimming these days. We don't. So he has about 30 seconds to get it together before he's out of here. So overall, because of all of these infractions and just the general caucasity of it all, Yummy's a skip. And it's not even because it's a bad song, it's just because you get on my fucking nerves. Next up, we have a subscriber submission. I love doing these subscriber submissions because nobody is above listening to indie music. The same technology is available to people who want to learn how to make music, that's available to people that's making it, and honestly, everybody starts somewhere. So if you're listening to that new Yummy shit, guess what? Justin Bieber was just some kid singing on YouTube. So you're not better than listening to new artists. Get the chip off your goddamn shoulder. Thank you. This comes from an artist named C Flame. She sent me her song Vibin, so we're gonna listen to it. I'm gonna let you know if it's a lit or a skip. Let's go.
Cause we got a ceremony. Only got real ones, no phonies. Cocktails and the beer's not phony. That's right. Red cups all night to the morning. We might just drink a whole ocean. Party animal inside me growing. No permits, but we zoning. Yeah. Everybody catching vibes. And the DJ's playing songs we like. Man, I smoke so thick, we done lost the sight. Can we post with them pics of them out? Just keep them bottles popping. And send me them concoctions. Till I run out of options. We got this party hopping. Somebody blending drinks. I think we vibing. Chillin' like
I can feel it. Yami is in the bed. I got me sipping on a drink. I'm looking up at the ceiling. Everybody wanna party. I know what just how they feeling. So I get up in the middle without giving an intermission. Got some haters on the right, but some enemies in the middle. So I'm chilling on the left with the brothers and all my sisters. Sipping dragon fruit is right with a cough and a little giggle. I can tell you want to party and really just keep on living. Bought me up a drink while I'm chilling with the gang. Got me coming from the south. You already know, man. Shit from the beginning. You already know the name. We are headed to the top and that ain't never gonna change. Let the girl see, you know when I'm brain flame. I'm the one that gives a cargo. I'm mentally insane.
All right, so I have a lot to say about it because here's the deal, right? When it comes to music, I see it like mathematical. Like I don't see it like one thing or the other. So I was expecting like in a song like this, right, with a Future type beat, it's almost like, I hate to say it, but it almost doesn't even really matter what you're saying because what you're trying to exercise is melody. And you did that well. I love the melodies that you picked out in that beat. I never would have found it because I didn't think I liked the beat. I was like, ugh, this tired ass wannabe Future beat when it first started, and you took me somewhere. So for that alone, it's lit because I didn't expect that to be that way. Sure, the clarity of the vocals we can work on, but that's all production, that's money. You know what I'm saying? That shit doesn't matter. And Yami also killed. So I'm gonna give it lit, man. Like, you were crafting melodies by yourself. People can't just do that. That's not something people do well. And I definitely would have done it with that beat. I would have canned it. You picked the beat, you had a vision, you saw it through. Good job. All right, folks, back into the shits. Let's talk about Drake. Because Drake has got a lot going on right now on the low key. Now he's got a song with Future out, which I don't even know what it's called, but I'm not watching the videos. That's one thing I'm not gonna do. I'm not watching the video because I know the game. And that's the same for Megan and Normani. The game y'all gonna try to play is, you know that your artists are better at making music videos and references. You can put money into videos and that's fine and that's easy because that costs less than you actually having an artist that's talented or actually having somebody that knows how to make music. That's too much. So what they can do is try to basically put really nice Chanel wrapping paper on a box of shit. So I don't want to be dazzled by the video. That's visual art that has most of the time nothing to do with the artist. That's a treatment, that's a director, that's art in that of itself. All the artist has to do is show their ass up. Not working for me. I just want to listen to the music. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna listen to the song right now and I'm gonna come back and then we'll talk about it. So I'm not even about to pretend that this is happening on the same day because upon viewing this video I realized that this entire segment was out of focus. So what we're going to do once again is talk about Drake and Future, Life is Good, War. We're gonna talk about all that's going on with Drake because I did watch that 2-hour Rap Radar interview and it's it provides a different context to Drake's move in working with Future again if you watch the interview. Because without it, you just go, oh yeah, Drake and Future together again, we need that. But before we even get into Life is Good, let's get into War because he released War last week and everybody trashed it and I liked it. But after listening to the Rap Radar interview, Drake knows that he has 1,000 different markets to cater to. And not only that, Drake knows that he's the man on the moon on an entire sound of Canada and what he's broken through. And he's not saying that he's the guy who made these sounds up, like Doug, but he knows that he owns his own market share. He's one of the only artists that seems to have a complete control over his own market share. He has that, Rihanna has that, I'd say Beyonce has that. Nicki has once had that, but I feel like 2017 to 2019 was the process of people ripping that away from her. And you know who else lost their market share? Future. Future has no control over his own market share in hip-hop because much like Nicki Minaj, and even before Nicki, let's say much like T-Pain, what made Future special was his sound. But everything we loved Future for now, everybody does. So when Future puts out projects, they kind of sound unremarkable because it's like they've taken what was special about Future and they've broken it up into 10,000 different pieces and scattered it amongst the industry. So when we see Future project, it doesn't feel eventful. And I kind of feel that they've done that to Nicki Minaj in a way, which is why she has to go back to the drawing board and figure out how can she trigger that response of, this is how I felt the first time I saw you. Which is exactly what Drake said about himself, is that he wants to create that feeling of, this is the first time I heard you over and over and over and over again. And if you can't create that feeling, then you lose. And Future has had a hard time creating that feeling because the last couple Future projects, they're cool for a second, but they go stale. It's been like 4 of them. But seeing Future next to Drake opens people's minds up to exactly what the fuck it is. It's like the presence of Drake kind of fixes that for Future. So I do think in a way, this is more of a handout to Future than it is to Drake, but I also think that Drake just really enjoys the music he makes with Future. And that's why he does it. It's nothing bigger than, I just enjoy making this music. I enjoy the cook-ups I get with Future. But he also sees collaborations like these working relationships. It's like he doesn't like these big label project songs. They come about, but he doesn't really like them. It's more or less he views the songs like Stay Schemin', or the songs like Life Is Good, or the songs like, what's his face to that fucking clown? The Chris Brown shit from this summer. He likes those moments of we're working together. And so I think a lot of artists should understand that the biggest artist in music is more or less worried about music and making music, and then they figure out how to market that shit later, but we're cooking up first. And then we're handling all that shit on the back end. The video comes on the back end. Which he also understands because he's an actor and he likes having that SNL element to all of his videos. Drake is fucking killing it, man. The first time I recorded this, I was killing Drake. I was saying, he didn't really do much on Life Is Good. He kind of threw the ball to Future, but Future really did fucking slam dunk that shit. But I think Drake understands his part. And I think he knows what he wants to do. But the one thing I would challenge Drake to do is to understand that you have Nicki right there. Like, I understand y'all had beef, but if y'all could fix it and if he could be real to her, she's in the same position having to deliver to a bunch of different markets, but she's in a tougher position because everybody wants to do a piece of what she's done. I mean, watch the Cybersex video. You're telling me that's not Nicki Minaj? That's not Shade the Doja Cat, that's influence. But if people are getting the feeling of what they used to feel when you were doing it from someone else, they're not necessarily gonna go to you for that feeling. And Future feels that, and Drake does not feel that because no one is able to do what Drake does. I don't know really what that is. What's so special about Drake? I guess he's just like hip-hop ang, like this nigga's the Avatar, I don't really know. But one thing I did learn about Drake was that I didn't realize that Drake wants the black accolade. Like, Drake wants to, he's like, no one ever said that the biggest artist in the world is a black man. Every time I have accomplishment, it's a Drake accomplishment, but the black community doesn't really say like, this is the first black blah, blah, blah. And he feels like he should be that because he's a black man and he lives in that skin. But I also feel like Drake's ambiguity contributes to the reason why Drake is able to be Drake. So, apples and oranges, my nigga, because I don't know if you could be you if you didn't look like you and stand in your position, being biracial, being from Canada. You're so removed from American blackness that the world can process it in a way that I don't think they'd really process it from Drake in that regard, if he were not where he's from, in my opinion. In the pop space, that's how I feel. But overall, Life Is Good is just great because it feels like good energy between friends. You know what I'm saying? Drake is gonna give me my bars. I'm getting an Omerta, I'm getting 6 p.m. in New York, I'm getting the Calabasas record, I'm gonna get all that. It's just good to hear Drake know what he's doing, be able to do this with his boy, and to hear Future underneath the context that he deserves to be heard, because Future is a way bigger part of music and has a very large stamp in music that people are not giving him, especially for his run from like what, 2012 to I'll say 20, when did Future kind of fall off? I'm saying y'all really kicked Future out of here after Dirty Sprite 2, but that didn't really make any sense. It just was everybody else started doing what he did. Future did nothing differently. But for Future to succeed, I need everybody to understand that this is as good as Future music is gonna get. It's the melodies, it's the beat, it all comes together, but like, what else can Future do? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what else Future could do without being Future. His projects have been great Future projects. It's just fucking Future. But we've learned to ingest this music in such a disposable way that he can't make a mark alone, in my opinion. So I don't really know what we're gonna do with that, but I like Life Is Good. So, hey. Now last but not least, we have Megan Thee Stallion and Normani collaborating. Now I said earlier that I think it's gonna be some bullshit, but here's why. I would love for them to collaborate underneath no other constraints besides we are collaborating. You know what I mean? Like, I just would like for them to just collaborate, but they're collaborating for a movie soundtrack. And we just saw with the Bad to You record with Nicki, Normani, and Ariana Grande what these labels do when they're trying to promote a movie. Clearly, Atlantic has this movie, Birds of Prey, the way Republic had Charlie's Angels, right? But my problem with this is, when you know Megan Thee Stallion is the current Britney Spears, and so is Normani, they're the new pop girls. What they do to make these black girls appeal to their target audience of this movie, which is mostly the white teeny boppers, is they give you whack-ass music that doesn't appeal to you. So I personally thought the Bad to You record was as generic as they come. You had Nicki Minaj, Ariana Grande, and Normani on a song, and you couldn't capitalize because you don't put your black artists in specific places where they can succeed. You're worried about, through these soundtracks, marketing to the demographic of the movie. And that's fucking dumb because that's never been the way it was. If the first Charlie's Angels did that, we wouldn't have gotten independent women. Like, they let Beyonce write a song for it, and it was from a black woman's perspective, and it resonated with everyone because Charlie's Angels wasn't just for white girls. So my point is, if this music does not sound like what a Normani and a Meg Thee Stallion song should sound like, which should be Houston, should feel like New Orleans, it should feel like Meg has got that big Pimp C UGK sound. Normani, who's basically stirring around in that Beyonce Houston energy, that's what I want to hear in the music. But I know that's not what I want to get because I know they're going to market this movie the opposite way, which has nothing to do with either girl, but don't use their star power and whitewash it. So, it's an automatic skip if I hear that, but if not, I will lend an ear. So let's see, I'll be back. Okay, I listened, I have feelings. I am not at all frustrated and completely frustrated at the same time. You know, thank you for not having Meg feeling completely out of sorts, like she could still rap and it'd be fine. But my problem is, it's still too contrived. It just feels like a big record that you guys had, that you felt like was gonna hit, and so you just shoved these two into it. Meanwhile, you should have just called Brooke Candy. Like, this sounds like Brooke Candy. It doesn't even sound like either one of them. This sounds like Opulence. This sounds like Charlie XCX could have been doing the Diamonds Are the Girl's Best Friend and it would have fucking hit. This honestly could have been Cupcake and Charlie XCX, and Cupcake probably would have slaughtered this beat because Cupcake does kind of cheesy pop lining hip hop like that. That's not who Meg is. But y'all wanted to clean it up, and it's just like, it's just too clean. And sometimes if you don't let hip hop be hip hop, then it doesn't belong in your spaces, in my opinion. So is the song bad? No, it's just unremarkable. From two remarkable superstars. I'm sure the video is amazing, but y'all cannot keep relying on visual content to sell your music. You have to have good music. The music needs to be better than this. This sounds like, for a collaboration between two people who we want to be around forever, this should be a pop culture moment. And you guys are getting these people in the room, and you're not making any fucking moments. When Britney and Christina touched each other, it was like fucking lightning. When Beyonce and Shakira touched each other in Beautiful Liar, it was like fucking lightning. We just had an argument on the timeline about that the other day, about who ate who in Beautiful Liar, because them coming together meant something. Sonically and visually, and we're not getting that. And I think the problem that people are having with Normani, let's just get it out of the way. I get some of y'all want Normani to create R&B and be the R&B artist that you guys want her to be. I don't necessarily think she's that. I don't think she should be that. And if I'm going to be 1000% honest, I don't think vocally she can compete. So don't put her there, because she's gonna get eaten up. The girls are gonna sing her underneath the table. If you put Normani on a mic next to Ari Lennox is going to make minced meat out of Normani. But that is fine, because if you had to have a dance breakdown, Normani gonna beat Ari ass too. Everybody does special things, but stop trying to make her one of the R&B girls when that's not what she gives. At least not yet. However, I think what people are asking for Normani is an identity, is a fingerprint. What do you do? Because once again, she's a part of something that, this could be Ariana Grande. This could be anyone sonically. And there are too many, and I love Normani, but there's too much music that could be anyone. Who are you? What is it? People are gonna get sick of it. People are gonna get tired of it, and people already want her to lose already off rip. But if she doesn't stop being so nondescript and only taking part in these huge, big marketed programs, people aren't gonna buy it. At the end of the day, say whatever the fuck you want about Tinashe, but most of the time it's Tinashe in a room. And if she puts something out and it sucks, it came from Tinashe. We know who Tinashe is. I don't know shit about Normani, because all I've ever gotten from Normani is big label and team decisions. And people are not gonna feel that for too long. So I think that's what people are trying to say. So two things can be true. Y'all can also want Normani to make R&B that she's not gonna compete well in and that you won't buy. And Normani is also not giving us the content that comes from here that we need to feel satiated by an artist. You see what I'm saying? She's just not doing both. So, Normani, that's your choice. You gotta get that together. I actually just gave you some game I was planning on giving you in another video, which I'm probably gonna give it again, but that's my point. This is just not, it's not adequate. I'm sure the kids will like it, but my thing is the kids only like things for 10 minutes. It's like, this music's just gonna come and go. When is somebody gonna make something that sticks to pop culture, that matters, that makes it? You're also worried about the quick buck, but then you keep going after the quick bucks and you have no legacy, the money stops. But this is also my point. The real artists, like Nicki Minaj, Big Sean, even Beyonce, Rihanna, are real artists. People who are established, that suffered during the everybody release through 2016 to 2018, 2019. They now can't compete. Like they've been running, releasing, and this hamster wheel sounds homogenous. All my real superstars have to do is put out music with a point of view, show the kids you're different, be different, stand out, and you add to your legacy and you pick up right where you left off. But if you ran the hamster wheel like Nicki Minaj ran the hamster wheel with Queen, and you know, everybody did that. Big Sean was running the hamster wheel. 2 Chainz ran the hamster wheel. Certain people that we know make music tried to jump in while the music industry was just being a fucking mess. Okay, great. It's gonna calm down because nothing sticks anymore. It's your job to make something that'll stick so we won't be bored. Because we're fucking bored. So just entertain us, give us a sound we haven't heard. Do not give us any more samples of music we already have. Create something fresh, just be an artist. And we'll hear from whoever does it. That's the 2020 secret. So yeah, overall, I'm gonna give it lit because it's not bad. It's just not good. It's just generic good all over the place. But in the words of Hov, don't be good, my nigga. Be great. Anyway, y'all, that's it for this episode of Lit or Skip. As usual, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If not, suck a dick. And I'll be seeing you guys later. Deuce.